I get asked questions like this all the time. Why Muslims are not successful today? Why we don't produce anything? Why we're only consumers? What happened to us? When did things go wrong and why? The immediate answer that usually come to mind is we deviated from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet, peace be upon him. While this is absolutely true, there's more to the story than that. If you feel the same way and you do care, stay and listen to what I have to say. You may agree or disagree, I'll let you decide. Well, how did we get here? I think the consequences of the lack of knowledge, research, and perseverance in the last 2 centuries in the Muslim world resulted in a collective groupthink, which Muslims don't fully grasp the core message of Islam teaching, don't truly understand or know their own history, what made them great and why. They're great heroes across time, how they made and achieved success. As a result, Muslims today are holding on to the rituals, appearances, and miss the core message of Islam. Assalamu alaikum. This message is for you, Muslim youth. Brothers and sisters, you are the future and our hope. As a Muslim who care, I'm so happy to be talking to you today. I really want to help. If you give me the next few minutes of your time, I will share with you literally my last 25 years of collective research on history in general, science, physics, and philosophy, and how one can actually achieve all goals as individual and as a group and reach their dreams in life. I don't ask for anything in return. I don't want money. I'm not selling you a product or services. All I ask is you listen closely, you learn, you plan, you execute, and never, ever, ever quit. Well, are you familiar with some of these questions? Do you have a goal in life? What is your goal or goals? Do you think your goal or goals are not practical to achieve? Are you progressing? Are you improving? Are you making strides in profession, career, or school? Do you feel you lose energy sometimes? Feel down? You feel like you don't have energy to do anything? Are you seeking happiness? Do you even know what happiness really mean? Can you define in one succinct, crisp sentence what is happiness to you? Do you often think, why me? I'm not born rich, I'm not fortunate, and so on. If you think these questions apply to you, or some, all of them, then you don't worry, you're not alone. You can reach your goals, you can make changes in your life if you only believe in yourself. You see, what's interesting is the most successful people in our time, even before our time, knew something about this. And I think you should know too. You can achieve all your dreams. You can get to your goals. You must believe change is possible, and you also must believe change is within, not from the outside. These are not my words. These are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has the ultimate control, power, and fate over the universe and everything within it, or even outside of it. If there is an outside, Allah does not change a people's lot unless they change what is in their hearts. But in order for that change to actually do happen, you must believe 100% without any doubt. That's how the change actually come about. Why Allah, who has ultimate control and power, don't just do things without people's intervention? Because this is how Allah created the law of the universe. Example to that is Allah could have moved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Mecca to Medina, and instead of him having to go through a struggle of the migration. Simple answer to that is this is not how it works. Allah created the universe and everything in it with laws, physics. Things move from the smallest atom to the biggest galaxies. Nothing stays constant. Only actions can bring upon results. Whatever the actions are, if it's positive or negative energy or negative action, it will come out to be negative. If it's positive, it's going to come out to be positive. In the late 19th century, Napoleon Hill was commissioned by Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie was the richest man on the planet in his time, with over 500 billion of today's money. Andrew asked Napoleon to write a book on the most successful 500 people in his time. He commissioned him, he invited him to his mansion, kept him, hauled him there for 3 days, fed him, and then asked him, all expenses paid, to go on, write that book. Napoleon actually took his entire life to write the book. He interviewed Rockefeller, Ford, Chrysler, and others, and wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich, which is one of the most successful 10 best-selling books ever. In short, the book talks about how you can change yourself, what are the habits of the most successful people. So, there are many books, there are so many lectures, researches, proof points that positive mind can make things happen. A negative mind will only bring negative life. Negative mind will never give you positive life. And your thoughts, positive or negative, has the same manifestation and the physical effort to bring something about. So now what you need to do is you start to change how your life is going to be in the future. How do you do that? Well, here's how. 3 easy steps of highly successful and effective Muslims. 1. Learn. How do you learn? First, you seek knowledge. Knowledge is very important. Knowledge is everything these days. It is said that in the early 20th century, the world used to flip over in terms of knowledge and double every 100 years. It's now the world changes over in terms of knowledge and double in less than 1 hour. Then once you actually have the knowledge, you need to analyze it. You need to contemplate, you need to think, you need to ponder, you need to assess the situation, understand and realize where you are and what you need to do and how to use the knowledge. And I'm going to show you how to do that. 2, you need to plan. When you plan, you write down your goals. You actually have a piece of paper, you write down, and you start by saying, I am thankful for, and then you start to think about all the things that you're happy and thankful for. Then you write down, and I'd love to achieve those goals in the next 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 years. Write down the goals. Be succinct and clear and crisp about them. Don't say I want to be rich. Say I want to make $10 million a year. That's an example. Be very specific, be succinct, and provide detail. Think positive about your change. Live the change in your head. Change how you think. Your mindset has to believe. Close your eyes and think you're actually living your dream. Define that framework and believe in it every single day. The more you exert energy in your mind about believing in that goal, the more it's actually going to happen. You have to have the burning desire that your goal is actually going to happen. 3, execute. And execute is actually the discipline of getting things done. So what I mean by that is start with a small goal. It could be I want to get up every morning at Fajr and pray and go walk for 10 minutes. Do that for 30, 40 days, it becomes a habit. Stick to that. Stick to the plan, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. Do not ever quit. Get support if you need to. Ask your friends. Start to have some structure around you and talk to other people about changing and why change is important and ask them to provide you support. Great. So let me close by telling you what I've already told you in the summary. I've already told you that there are 3 habits that if you take on, you're going to become a very effective and very successful Muslim. I told you that no matter what your goal is or are, you are going to achieve them. I told you that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Go ahead and change yourself first. Then the change will come upon you. Change your heart, the change will come. I told you that also it's proven science. It has been recorded. There's a lot of researches and points of view on the immunity change. You actually can change if you overcome those immunity change and you practical habit of start to think positive. I told you the 3 points or the three steps to change are: one, learn; two, plan; and three, execute. Now I want to close by saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is told us through stories in the Quran that we need to ponder, we need to assess and learn and have faith and in wisdom and knowledge through the stories. As such, in my next 15 recorded sessions, I'm going to introduce to you in each one of those recorded sessions an influential hero of Islam and how they apply those three steps or three disciplines in their life and how they change the circumstances around themselves, how they've changed their life. As a matter of fact, they've changed the course of history. And if it's not for them, who knows where we would be today. Those characters, what's going to make it more exciting and fun, for the most part, most people, most Muslims, I probably don't know about them. And I look forward to our next session. I am excited about talking to you about it. And salam alaikum.